What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel for another installment of the PGA Tour schedule series, and a special one today because we are on to the fourth and final major of the year, that being the Open, going on from July 18th to the 21st at Royal Troon Golf Course in Troon, Scotland. Lucky enough we're able to play it here. It seems like I've been seeing other people post videos about this. Seems like the course, the designers did an awesome job updating this. We're fortunately able to play it here within GSPRO, but for the title and naming sake and whatnot, GSPRO has it listed under DPC Royal noorT. So obviously you get what they did there, where it's the same exact course, but just for naming issues they changed it up a little bit. But like I said, fourth and final major of the year. Gonna give it a go. Back to our regularly scheduled type of videos here. I played yesterday on course. I just walked 9 holes with my dad and a couple family members. Hottest day of the year yesterday. It was like 97 with the real feel, well over 100 with the humidity. It was brutal, and it's still not quite as bad today, but still high 80s, low 90s right now, and that's without the humidity. So not feeling 100% because I played yesterday. It was only 9, but today was the only day I could come out here, and there's possible storms coming tonight, and then the next 2 days are supposed to be storms. So today was the only day I could come out here, but hot and humid. Hit a couple pitching wedges. They were getting close up to 140 because I think it's just the humidity. Like I said, I can swing a little bit quicker, so keep that in mind with the distances. But let's get into it for Royal Troon. Everything for the rundown, everything's linked down below in the description. I'd appreciate if you guys check out those Amazon links before you buy anything here in particular orders. If you do any of your regular Amazon shopping, great way to support the channel at no additional cost to you. But Garmin Approach R10 behind me on a DIY level stand, 5x4 hitting mat. That's still pleasantly surprised how it's holding up thus far, past couple weeks that I've had it. Callaway super fast balls, 10x7 nets, which are also holding up pretty good, and GSPRO on my gaming laptop. One thing I did want to note, a couple days ago when I played that Trump course, for whatever reason, if you guys noticed, it wasn't like unwatchable because of the lagging and the stuttering, but for whatever reason, swallowed a bug. For whatever reason, the file sizes for these screen recordings for 18 holes are usually right around 30 gigs, and for whatever reason that one was 80 gigs, so almost triple the size. There was an update available for OBS, which I used for the screen recording. I just selected remind me later last time I came out, but because there was so much lagging and stuttering, especially with the flyovers, I updated my entire computer, updated OBS, so I'm hoping that solves the issue. If that doesn't and it's still lagging, I don't know if it's because of the heat possibly, or another issue that I'll have to look into, but I haven't tested anything, so we'll see together with this first flyover if everything works. But let's get into it. First hole, par 4, 360 yards, playing the furthest back tees like always. Par 4, 360. Let's see this flyover. Hopefully on the beach. Awesome graphics. All right, that's looking much more like normal and a lot smoother. Just a tad stutter, but that usually happens when it's trying to render the graphics that quick for all the individual trees and stuff. I am playing on 1080p Ultra. But that seems like, hopefully it was just an OBS issue. That seemed to have been alright, but we'll see if I notice any more stuttering here and lagging within the gameplay. But let's see what we can do here. Doing the course recommended settings. So I noticed, I think this was the first time I noticed that the fairways were set to link style, so I'm assuming that's like probably along the lines of firm. I didn't take note of what the greens were, which I should start doing because that kind of helps with chipping and putting. If I look at the scorecard here, Stimp's 11, which is kind of quick. Fairways, I know it's probably getting cut off. Fairways says links and greens are normal. Alright, so turn the wind off like usual. That just mainly matters for, we'll get some extra rollout, I would assume, off the tee, and then approach shots into the green and chip shots, knowing how fast they are and how much they're going to roll out, or if I'm playing soft greens, for example, how much they're going to kind of stick and sit. But here we go. First shot, still going to try to play the baby fade up the left side. Yesterday I was messing around on course. I didn't record anything. It was only 9 holes. Shot 40. It was a par 35, so 5 over. I had 2 bogeys, a double, and the rest were pars. For the most part, I just went back to the interlock. Like I mentioned in the last video, I'm messing around with the 10 finger, but I think for now, a happy medium will be kind of gripping the club to start with my left hand more into my palm, which is kind of like half of the 10 finger almost, and then just putting my right hand on and interlocking after that. So it's kind of like the best of both worlds. We'll try that out today and we'll see. Maybe I'll experiment a little bit back and forth with the 10 finger or more conventional interlock. But first tee shot, see if we can get off here to a decent start. Club face was open. That's a pop up to the right. Ooh, maybe not too bad though. 105, 148. Garmin only had that. Wow, look at that bounce. These are going to be very, very firm fairways and a ton of rollout. That was almost 30 yards of rollout. These are like concrete fairways. I thought maybe that just launched right. I thought that was going to be more of a higher pop-up slice to the right. It was 0.8 on the spin axis with only 44 RPMs of side spin to the right. Obviously, I've noted it tons of times in the past. Side spin is not the Garmin R10 strong suit, so realistically that would have been further right in real life. But not too bad to start it off here. Leaves us with 80 yards. That's a kind of surprising. These are like the tournament tees, the furthest back. That's not a super long par 4 for the pros that you'll see playing this course over the next 3-4 days. Planning on posting this Friday. So the first round will be already done. Second round will be underway when you guys are seeing this, and then the final 2 rounds in the weekend. But I mean, 360 yards for par 4 for those guys. Guys like Rory, 360. Guys like Rory and Bryson, I'm not exactly sure who's in the field. I know Scotty, I think, was the favorite at plus 500, but 360. That's especially in these type of conditions. Obviously, you're by the ocean, the wind's blowing, but these type of conditions, they might be able to drive the green on that. But leaves us with 80 yards, small little green. It's going to come out a little bit right. We'll aim here. So I'm thinking probably about 75 of carry. I'm going to go with the 56. Let's see if we can get this right. You got to remember, playing on course yesterday, there's some grass and dirt and gunk in the grooves of some of my clubs. We got to clean those off before hitting them, ideally. It's nice playing back here, multiple rounds in a row. You don't have to worry about that. But all right, 75-yard shot here with the 56. Let's see if we can do it. Oh, I chunked it. That's got to go. That was really heavy. That's going to be short, probably in that bunker. Yep, right into the pot bunker. Not ideal after a pretty decent opening tee shot. Now we're in a pot bunker. It's going to be a 60-degree out of here. Greenside bunker is going to play 25%. Usually I kind of negate those, especially where we're 10 yards, we're short-sided, because the Garmin is only just estimating the spin, not measuring it. But it's going to come out right. We are on an upslope, so I'll aim here. Honestly, just looking to be inside the inner circle and save par here. So 10 yards, about almost a yard up, so 11. Looking for basically 8 to 10 yard flop shot here. Just kind of launch it high out of this bunker and have it land soft. May need to sit just a little. Sit. All right. Drop kicked it just a little bit. Wasn't the cleanest contact in the world, but not exactly what we wanted, but that was what we needed to start off with a par. So even through 1. Ooh, not sure what this is over here. I know it's probably getting cut off. There's like, maybe that's another hole. I'm not sure. It looked like almost like a practice area. Some of these course designers put crazy detail. They do, a lot of these newer courses have ranges you can do. I wouldn't even be surprised if this had like a short game practice area within GSPRO that you could play. But even through 1, second hole, par 4, 396. Again, not a terribly long par 4 hole. We'll look at the flyover here. Those grandstands, that must just be another hole, I would assume. But obviously, being by the ocean and the water over here, I'm assuming that's the ocean, if not a massive lake. Wind's going to be a massive part of the game and the game plan for the pros playing this. For me, I just turned it off because this is a sim kind of practice round, but not sure how treacherous some of the rough conditions will be and whatnot. I like seeing some really challenging conditions for the pros. I find it enjoyable to see them not necessarily struggle, but see them really be challenged with difficult shots. It's fun watching people go crazy like 30 under par for the tournament, but it's also fun like US Open style conditions, seeing the pros have to contend with really deep rough and getting out of some precarious situations. But here we go, second drive. All right, that was pulled a little bit left and we aimed left, but oh no, bounce over that, right into it. All right, 253 right into another pot bunker. Wasn't hit terribly, just a little bit of a pull draw according to the Garmin. 150 on the ball speed though, almost 107, not bad, 106.5. Leaves us with 144, and that's a steep pot bunker lip, and we're on a downslope, so it's gonna come out right. Fairway bunker is dynamic 5 to 10%, so it's probably going to be, with this down lie, closer to 10%. So come out right, we'll aim here, 143, up a yard, so 145, and then 10% is going to be, call it 15, so 155, 160. Let's go 8 iron, just in case. This may be a little bit too much club if I hit it 165, if I smash it 170, but out of this bunker you never know, we may catch this lip. 9 iron, I'm not sure is gonna quite get there at 160, and there is a little bit of room back there. I mean, it's right between a 9 and an 8. We'll see. If I don't catch this 100%, this may be end up being a good club anyways. So a little bit chunky, came out left. It was toey, but this may work out. Sit. Hit it decent, just off the green, I think, and then we're gonna have to chip that. I'm okay with that though. That was a little bit heavy on the mat and towards the toe, and we got some decent distance out of it. So, like I expected, I think on balls that I hit halfway decent, like 75% of a pure strike, and up until a pure strike, not that that happens super often, but I think with this hot humid weather I'm experiencing here, probably going to be able to swing and get some extra distance out of some of these clubs. Leaves us with 9 yards, going to come out a little bit right, so we'll aim there. I think we just need like 5-6 yards of carry, which is going to be basically the bottom of the net over there. Flew it a little bit too much, that's gonna have to sit, but a little bit long. We're inside the inner circle though, so another par, I believe. Good recovery out of that bunker from the tee shot. Even through 2, onto the 3rd hole we go. Par 4, 381. Again, for those pros that can absolutely mash the ball, these are certainly gettable in 2, without a doubt. Some of these holes, they may be able to put it within 10, 20, 30 yards of the green off the tee, especially if the pin's in the front. Oh, split fairway though. So there's no red. It looks like we'll be able to play out of there if we bounce into that. We'll see. Still gonna hit driver. This may actually be a layup hole, unless those pros, they can probably fly that and be fine, but for a mere mortal like me, we may end up in that. That was also started left, and again, kind of a pull draw, but 150 on the ball. It's going to be into this deep rough, but 256 total. Those aren't hit terrible, I'm just pulling them a bit. All right, 256 total. I don't know if I said 254, but either way, not a terrible shot. 150 ball speed, a little bit slower on the club. Leaves us with 127 out of the deep rough, which is going to be 21%. So 10% would be 13. 20. That's like 26 yards. So we're up into 160 again. What are we looking at with the pin? I think we're on a downslope. I think this time I'm going to hit a 9 and just play for that front middle section of the green. Downslope, obviously, it's not a ton, but it's going to launch a bit lower, take some spin off. When it hits, it's going to roll out a bit more. See if the 9's a good club here. Oh, thinned it. Healy came out left. We'll see. May work out though. Ooh. Definitely had some rollout on that. Is that a bird? Maybe a little bit generous there. That was a not so great thin heel strike, but we got it to work. Brings us to 1 under, I believe. It does. 1 under through 3. 4th hole, par 5, 557. That's a little more like it. All right, off to a good start. I like that. See if we can keep this going. Obviously, want to go as low as you can every single hole, but definitely nice having some decent swings to start it off. Maybe a generous read and result on that last shot, but kind of instead of putting myself behind the 8 ball, which sometimes I do, first couple holes, then you're kind of trying to battle back throughout the round. We're setting ourselves up, at least for now. We're 1 under, so if we can kind of keep it kind of steady through here and have something right around even par going into the back 9, I'd be pretty happy. So 265 there. Let's see if we can get a little bit of that fade working. Well, that's way right. But it's gonna work. That one started right and stayed right. We aimed, that's a pretty big movement out to the right, considering we aimed up the left side and ended up on the edge of the right fairway. That was probably, between the start line and the spin going right, that was probably a 30-40 yard kind of miss out to the right. But 288 because of the rollout. Another 150 ball speed. Club speed was down. I'm assuming, like I said, I played 9 yesterday on course, walked it, so a little bit fatigued from that. I'm not expecting super high club speed and ball speed numbers, but I think some of that will be mitigated just a little bit because it is so hot and humid and I'm sweating rather profusely so far. But leaves us with, we're gonna go here and I'm gonna hit 3-wood. We got 264. If I can hit something right around 250 with this 3-wood, with some good contact, this may have a chance to roll up with these firm link style fairways. Oh, club twisted when I hit it. It'll be fine. That was a low line drive up the left. Bounce over that. All right. Chip here. Hopefully put this close. Didn't feel like a terrible swing. I just made contact a little bit with the mat before, and like I said, the club twisted coming through. But we got it to work. Still got 248 out of it on somewhat of a miss hit. 143 on the ball speed. 102.4. Basically swung my driver in that 3-wood the same speed. So we got some room to work with, hopefully. 31 yards, up about a yard. It's gonna come out a little bit left, so we'll go just a tad right. We're on an upslope, which I like. So 32, we'll call it 32 total. Probably need around 25-ish of carry. So pop bunker there, but just gonna open up a 60, try to get right in that neighborhood of 20-25 yards of carry. I don't hate it. May need to go just a little bit. All right. Again, caught it just a little bit scuffy, going back and forth between artificial mat here and then chipping off a real grass. Especially because this is more of a tighter lie here with the mat. Not always the easiest in the world, but got another birdie there, so brings us to 2 under. Onto the 5th hole we go, par 3, 221, up about a yard. take a look at this flyover. We got some treacherous looking deep rough up into this, but the pin is in the back, so if we aim for the front and or middle of this green and hopefully just get something safe and on, I would be pretty happy. We are going to aim a little, we're going to reset it. I'm just going to go right at the pin. This will likely fade, as some of my long irons usually do. 221. Let's try the 4-iron. If I hit it really good, it's going to roll off the green, but I'm not sure I'm hitting my 5-iron. It would have to be a really flush 5-iron to get that up to 220 total. A little bit chunky, started left. That's going to have to go a little bit, I think, or not. Get inside there. Let's go. Is that another bird? Take that. 3 under somehow? This is shaping up to be a decent round. I am sure we are going to have some blow-up holes. But to be 3 under to start this, very pleased with that. 3 under through 5 brings us to the 6th hole, which is a par 5, 599. I do really enjoy. There's some deep rough on this course with water and ocean. Ocean's pretty far away, but I do enjoy the link style courses, nice and flat. Usually some room both left and right. Get some wiggle room off the tee and some long irons, approach shots, etc. Keep things in play a bit more versus big tall trees all over the place. All right. Narrow up there, but it's a little bit more of a opening over here for my 265-ish landing spot. Oh, it's also pulled left when we aimed up there. Luckily, it's not a ton of movement to the left, but may have to start aiming down the middle if I keep doing this. That rough killed some of the rollout, but we got 261 on it. I would think those aren't hit terrible, it's just they're starting left and kind of drawn on top of it. 148, 106. Leaves us with only 241 left. It's going to be a 3-wood up here. It's going to come out right, so we'll aim up here, middle left-ish. All right, I'm going to try to play the baby fade off the tee one more time. Got kind of a 2-way miss going right now, but if I hit one more of a kind of a pull draw again like that, I'm just going to have to leave it down the middle and give ourselves as much room as possible, both left and right. Try my best to kind of commit to one way or the other and take one side of the course miss-wise primarily out of play. So meaning if you commit and you play a fade either willingly or not willingly, a fade slice, you can, for the most part, take a lot of the misses left and the left side of the course out of play, and it's just keeping it in play towards the right. Same thing if you're playing a draw and or a hook. You can kind of take, at least for righties, take the right side of the course out of play. But 2-way miss isn't ideal when you're aiming one side or the other and not sure which way it's going to really come out. But see what we can do here with the 3-wood. Oh, it was straight, but it was very chunky. Baby draw on that too, according to the Garmin. Luckily, we're going to get some rollout, but that was hit very, very heavy and before the ball on the mat. Hit my 4 hybrid a couple times yesterday on course, pretty decent. Not that that was horrendous, we got away with it, but if I keep doing that and miss hitting that 3-wood a little bit, maybe I'll start going back and pulling the 4 hybrid out just for a little more consistency. But we're in a good spot. Par 5 hitting 3, 107 left, up about a yard, so 108 total. We're on an upslope, it's going to come out right, so we'll aim here, and 108, looking for just over 100 on the carry, I believe. It's going to be choke down approach wedge. Started left, hopefully it fades back. This could be decent. Raw carries 106, gonna be a little bit too much, but we're on. That should be a par. It was hit decent. Take that. we can keep it to birdies, pars, and bogeys, and more pars and birdies than bogeys, we're going to end up with a pretty good score, hopefully, by the end of this, if we can keep this going. So, 3 under through 6, 7th hole, par 4, 3, 9, 4. And grab a drink while you guys look at this flyover. Awesome job by the designer. I don't know if they updated this course or if this was brand new just for this tournament, but the fact that they can put all the details with the flags and the grandstands and everything else, pretty awesome. Definitely, if you guys have an R10 or really any other launch monitor, highly recommend taking the plunge for GS Pro if you can make it work. Massive upgrade, especially when you consider what I was using, the graphics and whatnot for Home T Hero compared to this. It's just night and day difference. Man, it is so muggy and humid out right now. There's actually mosquitoes out. You would think it would be like 5 o'clock right now, but there is mosquitoes flying around my ear. Alright, so narrow landing spot. We're going to have to aim right down the middle and we'll see what happens. We could, those grandstands on the left could be calling our name. Let's see if we can straighten this out just a little. That one's up the right. It was hit decent though, 102, 149, bounce over that pot bunker. Alright. Well, we bounced over, but we bounced into the deep rough, unfortunately. However, we only have 110, so this is manageable. Kind of a good break and then a bad break, all in the same bounce. But 110, down about a yard. Deep rough is going to be 21%, so that's like 22 yards. Brings us up to about 130, 135-ish. It's going to come out right, so we'll aim here, and I'm just going to hit smooth stock pitching wedge. Play this to right in the neighborhood of that number, which I like, so anywhere between 130, 140, right around usually 135 on a halfway decent strike. Oh, I thinned it, but it was straight. We'll see. It's going to fade. It's fading a ton. Bounce up there. Nope. That was almost off the hosel. That was very, very heely. Started straight. That faded a ton, which is probably accurate. How far I hit that off the heel. Alright, we got to scramble here. So we're hitting 3. We're going to get inside the center circle to save par. 13 yards. It's going to come out pretty far left. We're on a pretty significant upslope as well. So we're going to aim here. And the rough 6%, which isn't, that's a half a yard. So I think right around 10 yards of carry gets this done. All depends on how it lands, but I don't hate it. Started a little bit right, but that was actually the cleanest contact out of a wedge out of my 60 degrees that I've hit so far. Unfortunately, I don't think I hovered the club or grounded the club behind it enough, so we're going to get a mulligan out of this. Not that I wanted one, because that was actually almost exactly what I was trying to do there, but let's see if we can replicate it. Similar, started a little bit further left. Alright, what's going on here? Garmin's still blinking, so we're still good. It hasn't turned off or turned solid red. 2 shots there. That one may need to go a little bit. Oh boy. The GS Pro. Alright, GS Pro is not frozen. I don't know. Maybe if we reset here. Aim there. Maybe the R10's still blinking, It's showing it's ready. That's 3, not that a 10-yard shot with a 60 is super difficult, but those were kind of 3 in a row that I would have been happy with and would have been inside the inner circle. And I'm not sure, with the R10 blinking saying it's ready, I'm not sure why this isn't registering, but there it goes. Sit. Ooh, right past the pin. That one kind of drop kicked it a little bit. That was probably the worst out of the 3 or 4 that I just hit, but able to save par, still 3 under. On to the 8th hole we go. Short par 3, 115-yard hole. So, I mean, it's going to be about a 3/4 approach wedge here. Let's see where the pin is. Down basically 11 feet, which is almost 4 yards. So that brings us down, call it 111. Pins in the front. Oh boy, 111. We got to launch this kind of high and have it land soft. So I need 105, like 105 carry. So it's more than a, or less than a 75%. Oh, I thinned it and it came out left. That's got to sit, I think. Unless the thinness took off some ball speed, and it looks like it did. Alright. That helps. What was the raw carry? Raw carry was 100. That's what we were looking for. Carry in the game was 106, 114 total. Another birdie, so it brings it to 4 under. It's nice when... wasn't very happy with that strike, but it's nice when the miss hits are manageable. And that saying of, it's not about how good your good is, it's about how good your bad is. Meaning, if you can miss in good spots and have your miss hits not be complete skull jobs 50 yards past the green or chunking it 20 yards, but something like that where it wasn't an ideal strike, but we still got it to work. Maybe we got some help, some generous help from the R10 there, but either way, we will take it for a bird. You guys are looking at this flyover. This is the 9th hole, I believe. Seems like a long one, dogleg right. This is the first kind of significant, somewhat significant dogleg. It's not a ton, but 9th hole, par 4, 413 yards. Most of the other ones were pretty straight, so we'll aim here. We'll see what happens. Actually, that doesn't look great over there to the right, so I would rather be towards there. Maybe if this fades towards those pop bunkers. Just trying to account for a miss being in play and not out of bounds or in super challenging deep rough, but alright. That was probably the best struck driver yet. The numbers speed-wise don't reflect that, but that was right out of the middle, and that had very little turn on it, so 1.7 spin axis to the right, that's probably about right, considering I was trying to play a little bit of a baby fade, but that was a good strike, good launch, good overall swing, felt good, literally right out of the center. If anything, it was a fraction of a millimeter on the low side, just a little bit low on the face, but I would be very happy if I could do that every single time off the tee. So we're in a good spot here. Let's see if we can take advantage of this. 139, up about 2 feet, so we'll call it a yard, I guess. It's like a half a yard really, so 139 and a half, just shy of 140. It's going to come out a little bit left. That should be fine. We'll actually aim. We'll go there. This will maybe fade on top of it. So it's either a choke down 9 or a full pitching wedge. Let's go pitch and wedge. I'd rather hit the full club, I think, than trying to choke down at 9 and kind of guess how much I need to choke down and how hard I need to swing. Generally, I would assume a committed full shot with the club is going to result more times than not than have a better result than a choke down shot, kind of an in-between, indecision type of shot. So let's just hit this pitch and wedge good. Popped it up a little bit, but it wasn't a terrible strike. A little bit heely. It's gonna fade. Go. Ooh, generous bounce. We're still gonna have to chip it, but lucky bounce to the left there. Knew as soon as I hit it. Just hung back on it a little bit, popped it up a tad, a little bit heely, hence the more than ideal fade. But we're in a decent spot. We're hitting 3 into a par 4 with 11 yards, so another one of these. Probably need about 7-8 yards of carry on a little bit of a downslope, so even less, because it's going to kill a little bit of spin, but just trying to get this inside the inner circle, save a par. So lower section, maybe about, ideally, a foot or 2 up from the bottom of the net. I popped it up a little bit higher than I wanted to, came out left. Another no read from a delicate chip shot. That would have been fine. Would have been, I think, left side of the inner circle, but we're going to do it again. That one, it was going to be fine distance-wise. It got up and away from me a little bit more than I wanted it to. I wanted to launch it a little bit lower. Still kind of got up on me, but that's not bad. I'll take that. A little bit of a stutter there, I saw. Safe par, though. All right, folks. We've got a good score going here. 4 under through 9. Onto the back 9 we go. 10th hole, par 4, 4, 5, 7. Not sure. I've been kind of putting my clubs away and grabbing new clubs for these flyovers. Definitely not nearly as much stuttering and lagging as there was last time, so I'm hoping we're kind of back to normal here with my screen recording and whatnot. Camera's still going, which is good. Kind of taking my time talking through some of these shots, so per usual this will probably be over an hour on the longer side. I think we're usually start the camera about 5 minutes before the video starts, so I think we're right around 35 or so minutes. Had like 40 minutes on the camera, but here we go. Back 9. Wow, that is a daunting look. So we're gonna go there. I mean, look at those. How do you even, if you're standing here on this tee box, how do you even, you just gotta pick a spot, I guess? Like, how do you even look where you're supposed to hit this? Obviously, real life, the pros would walk the course and whatnot, but those hills are crazy. This would be almost a blind tee shot. You don't know where you're hitting it into. Well, that was a high pop up to the right. Get down, sit. Hung back on it. Club face was open, high on the face. What did that go? 236. Not the best start for the back 9. We're in play though. Deep rough, 237. We got some more no bueno looks up there, but 237, actually it's going to come out left, so we'll aim here, up about a yard, and deep rough is 21%, so it's going to be 3-wood out of here. Hopefully the dynamic lie out of this, it's going to let us actually launch this out of here with a 3-wood, but 21% on 237, that's like 40 yards, 45, 46, so we're looking at almost 280. Uh-oh. I tried to swing hard at that, swung out of my shoes. That was a a dead duck hook pull left. That just came out straight left. That was almost, that's a rare shot. Usually right-handed golfers, your miss, if it's going to be off the hosel, it's going to be a shank to the right. That was so low and left. That was borderline missing the net to the left, which I don't think I've ever done. But It is a par, oh no, it's not a par 5, it's par 4. All right, we got to put this close then. So we're 128 yards out, up 4, and we're in the rough. So brings us to 132. 10% would be 13, so call it 6-7 yards. So we're, again, it's going to come out left. We'll aim there. It's going to be a full pitching wedge. It's either a choke down 9 or a full pitching wedge. Just hoping to get this on the green. Choke down 9 would probably be close to the distance if I can pull that off, but I feel, again, a little more comfortable and confident hitting a full pitching wedge versus a choke down 9. What's going on here? Get lucky. I think we're gonna have to chip that, but honestly, wow. To be 4 under through 9 and then hit 2 shots in a row like that, that was one of my worst 3-woods I've hit in a few months, and that was probably one of my worst pitching wedges I've hit in a few months. Back-to-back shots. All right, we're hitting 4 into a par 4. We gotta hold this out to save par, otherwise we're gonna drop a stroke, but it's gonna come out a little bit right. The green's sloping that way as well, so we're gonna go here and maybe a little bit. Yeah, there should be fine. 10 yards, so 5, 6, 7 yards of carry. Get inside that inner circle. Bottom section of the net again. Or top section, sit. Wow, I think we just snuck it in there for a bogey. I was aiming for down here. Those short little 60 degrees are getting up and away from me. Not pleased with that. All right, dropped a stroke, but considering we started off with pretty hot front 9, we're still 3 under after giving 1 back there. So 11th hole, par 4, 480. Oh, look at that. Is that a highway? That's pretty cool. Thought that was a bridge. I was about to turn away and go get a drink, and I saw something out of the corner of my eye on that right side. All right, I'm gonna get a drink. We're gonna reset after those 2 horrendous shots, and we're gonna get back on the horse here of the good shot, good strike horse. A comeback birdie would be awesome right now. Give 1 back and immediately get 1 back. Let's get a good drive here down the middle. Another one of those tee shots where there's just so much trouble that catches your eye off the tee. I mean, look at that. You got the road on the right, or whatever that is. Almost looks like a racetrack. Luckily, I'm just looking at my mat over here, so that's not catching my eye the way it would in real life, but all right. Again, a little bit low and a little bit heely. It's gonna fade, but that should be just fine. That was hit halfway decent. I think it just landed in the rough, which probably killed a little bit of the rollout, but that still should be 260, yeah, 263. I was gonna say 260, 265, so right in the average of a halfway decent strike, or a pretty good strike. 216. Up about a yard, a little more than that, so 217 total. Completely flat lie, you don't see that too often. We'll aim here. This will probably fade 215, so I'm gonna go 5 iron. Usually, if I can hit decent right around my 215 total club, which means I'll probably carry this in the neighborhood of 205-ish and have about 10 yards of rollout, ideally. It was hit really good, but it's gonna fade. That was pretty heely. Sit. Oh, it's a railroad track. Oh, it was out of bounds. All right. Fitting for the train track, the wheels are coming off. That's unfortunate. So we're gonna have to you have to re-hit. We can't even drop. I hit it out of bounds, so usually you would think, from what I've played, you kind of take a drop of where it crossed, but we're gonna have to completely re-hit that, which is unfortunate. I really want to click this mulligan, but we're not gonna do that. Well, this is tough. So, same shot again. It's gonna be another 5-iron, and now we're hitting 4. Yikes. So much for my looking for birdie, getting that shot back. That should be in play. It's still gonna fade, but that was thinner. That's gotta go. Why not just do that the first time? All right, it's gonna be a bogey, I believe. Double. Ay. Well, now we need 3 birdies to get back where we were. And just like that, from 4 under to 1 under in 2 holes. 12th hole, par 4, 438. Honestly, still, through 11 holes to be 1 under. I'm not displeased about that, but considering we were 4 under, that's kind of a kick in the you-know-what. But take a look at this flyover. Looks like a slight dogleg right. Had a feeling, playing back-to-back days, again, I only played 9, but I did walk yesterday, and it is still very hot out today. Didn't have the highest expectations coming out, but when you start off going 4 under, and now we're giving it back pretty quick, and the fatigue is creeping in, so we gotta get this dialed back. And it seems like these fairways, these tee shots are getting more and more narrow. Low and left, that could be trouble. Ooh, it's fading back though. That was hit again. Low and pretty heely, so definitely not a good swing, but luckily, considering that it probably had some decent fade on it, to be able to start that low and left, it came back, so we're in play. What's going on here? The striking thing's pretty good. Now I can't seemingly hit a shot to save my life. 173, up almost a yard. Whoa. I clicked the arrow on accident. Alright, so we'll aim here, 173. It's tough. It's right between an 8 and a 7. 7 I've been playing to 180, 185, so that kind of takes that out of my hand unless I choke down. 6, or the 8-iron rather, usually play to about 160, 165, so kind of in between. Gonna have to hit the 8, and I don't know if this is gonna get there. That was a terrible strike too. Off balance on top of it. This might be out of bounds. It's gonna play. Let us play. Jeez Louise. Tough getting your hopes up, being 4 under, trying to finish off a good round, but certainly not happy with these last few holes. On the bright side, the silver lining is we did give ourselves a lot of runway to have some pretty bad blow-up holes, so we're hitting 3 out of here. In theory, we can still save par. We're out of the deep rough. We got 37, so that's going to be 6, 7, 8 yards. I'm going to go, we're looking at like 43. I'm going to go 56. I sliced that too. That's going to be short right. Stay there. Oh, it's going to roll off. Don't go in the bunker. Going from bad to worse here, folks. Was planning on playing one more after this. I don't know if we keep doing this. I may have to pack it up after one. So, unfortunately, as you can see by those dots there, we did hit the green, but it rolled off just to the edge. So we got a 7-yard chip shot here. It's going to come out left. So I aim here, 7 yards, need like 3 or 4 of carry, so gotta hit it like 3/4 of the way to the net. Man. Should be decent, just a little bit. Let's go, that helps. That's a chip in for par. I was gonna say, I flew that like a foot too far, so if that cupped in again in the way there, that would have rolled past it. Still would have stayed inside the inner circle, but all right, maybe that's what we needed here. It's crazy how you can go from 4 under on the front 9, hitting things pretty good, all things considered, to be 4 under, and then just like that, the turn of a switch, the swing just goes completely down the tubes. Hopefully though, that chip in, like I said, gets us back here. So luckily we're still 1 under, 312, 13th hole, par 4, 465. We'll see if any of the pros on tour have a similar round where they light it up, at least for them, light it up on the front 9 and then have an epic collapse like I'm doing right now in the back. Down 5 yards. That's gonna be, I pulled it, it's fading back though, luckily. I thought that was gonna be another pulled draw, but that's gonna work out. Speed's definitely decreasing. I feel like I swung relatively hard at that and hit it halfway decent. We only got 146 out of it. Again though, a little bit heel side on the driver. I think I gotta line the ball up more towards the toe and take a half a step back. 280 though on the rollout. I mean, we got 29 yards of rollout, which is nice, but 185, so depending on where the pin is, this should be a good 7-iron number. Aim there. There we go. I may need to go a little bit, but that was hit a little bit better. Wow, that's a ton of fade. I didn't think that was going to fade that much, but that's more along the lines of what I was looking for. So 180 total. Kind of came across it, faded a little bit more than I wanted to, but we'll take the par for sure. That was a better strike. Tried to smooth things out just a little bit there. Geared down just a little bit. I think this hot, humid weather is making me feel like I can swing harder and kind of unintentionally swinging a little bit harder out of my shoes than I should be. So that's better there. Chip in helped. That was a good 7-iron. It looks like we may have to hit it again. So 1 under through 13, 14th hole, par 3, 181. Where's this pin? Back left. So considering I've been overdoing the fade the last couple, we're just going to leave it right there, and we're going to hit another 7-iron. Same swing, same exact swing, although overdid the fade, but same exact swing as that last one. Gets it done here. A little bit chunky, heely again. That's gonna have to go a little bit. Bounce left. Oh, bounced right. Wow, just by the hair of my chinny chin beard, that stayed on the green inside the inner circle for a par. So we'll take that. Luckily we didn't have to chip it. 15th hole, par 4, 492. Kind of riding the ship a little bit. Definitely not mad with pars, but considering we gave back 3 shots very rapidly, I would like another birdie or 2 to finish this off, hopefully. Finish off somewhere, maybe 1, 2, 3 under. Had an energy bar before I came out, but feel my stomach growling again. I am drinking the old DC Diet Coke over there for some caffeine energy, which I do think seems to help a little bit, but probably should have had a little more of a substantial meal before playing. But that's completely on me. So I'll leave it there. 265 right there. Pretty straight hole. Got some room both left and right. Not too bad. Felt a little bit on the back. That's a draw, but at least it wasn't as much of a pull draw. Big bounce forward. This is going to actually end up being pretty decent, I think. 280-ish maybe? Oh, we got acorns coming down. Oh, never mind. 268. I stand corrected. My speed is going way down. I thought that was, again, hit pretty good, and seemed like a big bounce forward. And I thought that was going to be about 10-20 yards further. We're in play though. 224. We'll go there and we'll go 4-iron. I'm actually have a tougher time closing down the club face on these longer irons, so I'm gonna aim, pins tucked front right, I'm gonna aim even further over here. This will probably fade more than I want to, unwillingly. Chunky, chunky, chunky. That one hurt my shoulder. That was so chunky. That's got to go a ton. Straighter though, but that was a toe chunk. Short left. Hit that so fat I left some green residue on the club. I just dug the toe into the mat rather aggressively. All right. Let's put this inside the inner circle and save par. 23 yards. It's going to come out a little bit left. So we'll aim here. The green's sloping that way too, but I don't want to give up the inner circle and towards the pin if I don't have to. So 23, I'm thinking 20, just shy of 20 of carry with the 60. I don't hate it. May need to sit just a little. Sit. All right, we got it done. I think we saved par. Knew as soon as I hit it. Put a little bit too much on it, but just enough to stay inside the inner circle. 4 holes left. Or 3 holes, rather. 16, 17, 18. Getting delusional. 16th hole, par 5, 560, 1 under. Feeling a little bit better now about the swing these last couple holes after those 2 horrendous ones in a row. So I do have a fun course picked out for the next one. We'll see. My shirt is already completely soaked. Probably getting to the point. Hopefully I got these gray shorts on. The sweat's gonna start seeping down and start turning these light gray pants, dark gray, into this next round if I stay out here for another 18. But first things first, let's finish this off. Very narrow landing spot up here, so we need a straight drive here. Need more of a fairway finder type of drive than a bomb. Not that I'm bombing it right now, but we need to square this up. Oh, I pulled it left. That's a pulled draw again. Bounce right. 143 on the ball speed, yikes. My club speed right now is going down the tubes. 102 on the club. That's usually like a 3-wood type of number. Alright, we got a scramble here. Luckily it's a par 5. 315 left. It's gonna come out left. We should be fine. A little bit of an upslope, which helps. we'll aim here and just try to put some good 3-wood club onto the ball here, get us out into play, hopefully have under 100 yards into this hole. I didn't mean to drop my club, that slipped out of my hand, but that's 2 of those same shots in a row. This 3-wood may be done for the day. I may start pulling 4 hybrid. That's 2 horrendous duck hook low pulls left. We go from the deep rough to the deep rough, and we still got well over 200. So we got 197, deep rough is going to be 21%, so that's like 40 yards. Well, I got my wish. This is actually probably going to be a pretty good number here for the 4 hybrid. So let's see if we can gear down for a little more consistency. I'm trying to swing out of my shoes for the fences with that 3-wood. Alright, popped it up and it's going to fade, but get going. A little bit chunky on that too. Better, but still not great by any means. We got to look at it though. Hidden 4 into a par 5, so inner circle we save par after that. The drive wasn't terrible, it's just I'm losing speed. That 3-wood was horrendous, and that 4 hybrid wasn't too bad, but 19 yards. It's going to come out left, and the green looks like it's sloping a decent amount from right to left, at least this beginning part. So 19 yards, probably need about 15 of carry. See if we can do it with 60. That's going to have to sit a little bit. Yep, flew it. All right, bogey. Back to even, I think. Not a good time to have distance control with the wedges going down the tubes. And everything else. Oh, I grabbed my driver. Looks like I'm not going to need it here just yet. 17th hole, par 3. Even through 16. 215 yards. Should be a 5-iron depending on where the pin is. Front left. All right. Need a pretty well struck straight 5-iron right now. A little bit chunky, hit better though. It's fading. Go and bounce left. Actually sit. Alright, that was hit better. Still too much fade for my liking, but tons of rollout. Carry from the Garmin was 192, carry in the game 200. Not bad for a little bit of a chunky 5-iron, but I could tell by the feel and the sound. Still a little bit heely. Kind of overdid the fade, but we'll take that. Decent 5-iron strike there. On to the 18th and final hole we go. Par 4, 469. Seems like, I wouldn't be surprised if some of the pros gain a lot of their strokes on the front 9. This back 9, these par 4s are significantly longer than those 360, 380 yard par 4s on the front that we saw. This back 9 is definitely more challenging, at least in my opinion, from what I'm seeing and what I'm doing. All right. Par or better here, and I'll be pretty happy with an even round. We can do it. Decent swing here, anything 250 plus in the fairway with the driver, and then that'll give us 9-8-7 iron type of distance into this green. It's gonna fade, but that should be fine. 146, 105. It should roll. All right, take that. 270-ish. Thanks to the link style firm, massive bounce fairways. One good iron shot here. Ooh, never mind. I thought we were gonna have a little bit less than that. Guess I didn't do my math quite right on that tee box. So 195. Well, we can do it. Pin's in the back, so it's gonna be a 6 iron. And just hoping 195 is doable for sure with the 6, but just hoping I hit it straight enough and decent enough to be front middle side of this green and call it good for this round. That's not going to do it. That's got to go and bounce left. That was so thin and heely. Pot bunker. All right, we got a 60-degree bunker shot out of this pot bunker to save par. $18 yards. Oh man, this may take a couple to get out of here. We got 5.3 degrees of a downslope with a massive lip out of this pot bunker. It's gonna come out left. This is gonna be have to be a very lucky shot. I'm gonna have to open this 60-degree way up, launch it really high, and hope I get the distance right and don't catch this lip. So we're gonna have to aim here. I tend to push some of these wedge shots too. So 18 yards, greenside bunker 25%. So that's like 4 yards, so like 20, 22. I'm just gonna try to launch this as high as I can and try to fly it right around 20. Well, I definitely launched it high enough. I pushed it right, like I said. This may miss the inner circle and a little bit too much. All right, it's gonna be a bogey, so we're gonna finish one over, I believe, but that was pretty close to what I was trying to do there. That wasn't a super easy shot to finish it, but one over, we'll take it. So from DPC Royal noorT, aka Royal Troon Golf Course in Troon, Scotland, home of the Open, 4th and final major of the year, going on from July 18th to July 21st. Ended up with a 1 over 72. So honestly, that's about as good as it gets on the front nine. For any course, especially a course like this, that's about as good as I can play. 4 birdies, 5 pars for a 32, 4 under. That's about as good as it gets. And then obviously I gave it all back plus some on the back nine for a 40. But I mean, even the back nine, it wouldn't have been that bad just besides this 11th hole with a double. I'm fine with the bogeys being what they are and even those out with the birdies, but luckily it was mostly pars. It's just that double that hurts, obviously a little bit more, stings a little bit more than a bogey. But take a look at the stats. 10 pars, 4 birdies, 3 bogeys, 1 double. Nothing better or worse than that, luckily. Longest drive was 288, average drive 275, thanks to those massive bounces on the concrete-like links fairways. The ball speed was actually pretty good at the beginning. The front nine, I was hitting them low 150s, but average ball speed was 147. Average ball speed 147. Best ball speed was 150. I'm still not sure why these. I'm pretty sure I had one that was like 151. It seems like those numbers aren't always quite right, which I don't know why. You would think that would be a pretty simple thing for them just to pull the best ball speed. Maybe it's the ball speed from the Garmin, not GSPRO. I don't know what the deal is with that, but I've noticed that before. I've noticed some when I've hit some like 152, 153, 154, and then it usually shows like a mile an hour or two less for the best ball speed for whatever reason. But 24 putts, 1 sand save over an hour. Only 22%, 4 out of 18 greens in regulation. That is not great. We want to be at least 50%, if not 75 there. Fairways, that's manageable at 57, but still not ideal. Handicap for this course was a negative 3.4. Obviously, I would have 0% chance of doing that in real life, but that's what it is. My average handicap within GS Pro is still all jacked up. So there you have it, folks. Fourth and final major of the year in the books, at least for me. And you guys will be seeing this. I'll be tuning in, watching this tournament for sure over this weekend. I'm sure you guys will be too, but 1 over 72. Not too bad. So hopefully you guys enjoyed it. I am going to reset things here and play one more. Hopefully I don't completely have the wheels come completely off and shoot a horrendous score. But this next course I've been looking forward to. Any guesses down below? I will say it has something to do with a goat. It'll probably be the video, 1 or 2 videos after this one. Take any guesses down in the comments. I think a goat is a obscure but also related enough hint that some of you guys may be able to tell what course I'm going to play. But hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Check out the Amazon links down below in the description. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys at the next course.